These are 7 of the most unexpectedly wholesome Stewie Griffin episodes. Yes, the same Stewie who's built death rays, time machines, and tried to kill his mom more than once. Somehow, this diabolical toddler also managed to deliver some of the most emotional moments in Family Guy history.
I'm sorry. I love you. I value you. We're not escalating. It's fine. I'll see you in the morning. Is the light keeping you up?
So what's the plot?
Oh, you don't understand these movies.
Let's begin. Episode 1, Dog Bites Bear. Season 16, Episode 11. It starts with a bear, a baby, and a drunk dog. So, the usual. Stewie and Rupert are ready for a Fast and Furious marathon, a film franchise known for 2 things, car stunts and unexpectedly emotional bro hugs. Brian, on the other hand, would rather get plastered at the bar than sit through hours of Vin Diesel mumbling about family. Bad move. Because when Brian returns, Rupert is dead. Like torn limb from limb dead. And somehow Family Guy manages to turn a stuffed animal homicide into one of the most emotional arcs in the show's entire run. Stewie is devastated. He runs away to Vermont to scatter Rupert's ashes on a snowy mountaintop. Brian follows him, not to make amends, but because the show really hates having functioning transportation logic. The real kicker? Brian admits he did it on purpose. On purpose. That's not just betrayal, that's therapy material. But on that mountaintop, Stewie forgives him. They bond, they grieve, and they say goodbye to Rupert together.
Well, how the hell was I supposed to know it was going to upset you so much? How? How?
For a moment, it stops being a cartoon about a talking dog and becomes a genuinely touching story about loss, friendship, and bear ashes in the wind. Episode 2, Stewie is on Scent. Season 13, Episode 12. If you ever wanted to watch Stewie emotionally bond with Brian by getting pregnant with his DNA, well, first of all, you might need therapy. But second, this episode exists. After Brian refuses to hang out with him, Stewie does what any emotionally stable person would do. He breaks into a fertility clinic, mixes his and Brian's DNA, and uses himself as the host. This is either groundbreaking science or a plotline rejected by Rick and Morty for being too disturbing. But here's the twist, it's not just a gag. Over the course of Stewie's pregnancy, he slowly realizes how deeply he cares for Brian. And once the half-human, half-canine squid babies are born, Stewie is a full-on doting parent. He names them, he reads to them, he sings lullabies. And then he has to say goodbye. For a character known for threatening to destroy the world, watching Stewie hand over his bizarre litter of love children is weirdly touching. It's parenting, Family Guy style. Disturbing, hilarious, and somehow kind of beautiful. Episode 13. Stewie starts taking steroids to impress his new friend. Because nothing says wholesome like emotional vulnerability and chemical enhancement. After getting beat up by Susie Swanson, yes, Joe's baby daughter, Stewie has an identity crisis. He doesn't feel powerful, respected, or manly. So, naturally, he teams up with Peter and starts juicing. At first, it's just funny. Tiny baby arms, massive steroidal rage. But beneath the laughs, you see something deeper. Stewie's fear of being seen as weak, of being small, of not being loved. And then comes the wholesome twist, Stewie's friendship with Rupert. Yes, the teddy bear again. The episode ends with Stewie letting go of the toxic masculinity, hugging Rupert, and realizing that being vulnerable is okay.
Oh my God! Rupert?
It's sweet, it's sad, and it's wrapped inside a roid-raging montage of baby violence and protein shakes. Peak Family Guy. Episode 4, The Stewaway. Season 19, Episode 22. Stewie hides in a suitcase to avoid a boring weekend, and accidentally ends up in Paris, with Quagmire. Yep, this is the wholesome one. After losing a game of hide-and-seek to Brian, again, Stewie escalates things in typical Stewie fashion by mailing himself across international borders. It's not exactly Airbnb friendly, but it gets the job done. And somehow, it sets up one of the weirdest and most emotionally satisfying relationships in the show. Stewie and Quagmire. They bond, they sip wine, they admire art, they dance to Lady Gaga. It's like Call Me By Your Name, but with more felony charges. And when Stewie goes missing in the city, Quagmire, the walking embodiment of red flags, does something out of character. He panics. He searches the entire city. He cries. He begs Brian to help him find Stewie. Turns out even Glenn Quagmire has someone he cares about. And Stewie? Stewie gets to feel wanted, just for being himself. No lasers required. The episode ends with a heartfelt hug, and for a split second, Brian and Quagmire aren't trying to kill each other. Growth.
Episode 5, Lois Kills Stewie. Season 6, Episode 5, Alternate Reality. Technically, Stewie dies in this episode, but don't worry, it's all in his head. You know, standard sitcom stuff. This episode is the second half of a two-parter, where Stewie goes full villain, faking Lois's death, taking over the world, and finally getting exactly what he's always wanted: power, control, and no more Lois. Except turns out, that's not what he wanted at all. In one of Family Guy's most surreal moments, the entire world domination plot is revealed to be part of a simulation, a fantasy. Stewie never killed Lois, he never conquered the world, he just imagined it. And why? Because deep down, Stewie loves Lois. He needs her. He wants to be the one to threaten her, but not actually lose her. It's twisted, it's weird, it's surprisingly emotional, and it shows that behind all the death threats and evil monologues, Stewie's deepest fear is being alone. There's no hug, no cheesy music, just a silent, wide-eyed baby, realizing the person he claims to hate is actually the one he can't live without.
What is all this?
You see, Brian, I conducted a little experiment.
Episode 6, Brian and Stewie. Season 8, Episode 17. 2 characters, 1 vault, 0 cutaway gags. And somehow, one of the most emotional episodes in the entire series. In this bottle episode, Brian and Stewie get locked in a bank vault over a weekend. No Griffin chaos, no absurd side plots, just a baby and a dog, and a surprisingly heavy conversation about life, death, and peanut butter whiskey. At first, it's the usual back and forth. Snarky insults, bathroom jokes, minor cannibalism threats. You know, the usual. But then things get quiet. Brian admits he keeps a gun in a safe deposit box, in case he ever decides he's done. And Stewie, for once, doesn't mock him. Instead, he listens.
Well, I think that's pretty selfish of you.
How is that selfish?
What would I do if you weren't here?
And then he begs Brian to promise not to leave him. For a character who built a time machine just to avoid a dentist appointment, watching Stewie get completely, painfully real is rare and honestly kind of crushing. The episode ends with no reset, no punchline, and no lesson. Just 2 characters quietly understanding each other better than they ever have before. Episode 7, Yagi Limov, Season 11, Episode 4. Time travel, reverse pregnancies, and a surprisingly emotional goodbye. Welcome to peak Stewie chaos with feelings. In this episode, Brian messes with Stewie's time machine, shocking, I know, and accidentally causes time to reverse. The usual laws of physics break down, people unbirth their children, and Stewie starts de-aging. But this isn't just sci-fi comedy. As time regresses further, Stewie realizes he's approaching the moment of his own non-existence, a point where he'll be unborn and completely erased. Instead of panicking or building a last-second device, Stewie accepts it. He writes Brian a farewell letter, just in case, and shares how much their friendship has meant to him. No sarcasm, no manipulation, just a baby saying thank you.
Dear stupid dog, I've gone to live with the children on Jolly Farm. Goodbye forever, Stewie.
Stewie facing the literal undoing of his own life with dignity and grace? Yeah, didn't have that one on my Family Guy bingo card. The letter never makes it to Brian, but we hear it, and it's real.
Ah, get that poop-filled thing away from me! No! Oh, God, it's cold!
So, yeah, the baby who once built a weather machine just to ruin Lois's day also held a funeral for his teddy bear, begged his dog not to die, and bonded over Lady Gaga in Paris. And if these were the wholesome episodes, just imagine what we'll find when we look at his darkest ones. Because Stewie Griffin isn't just a baby with a blaster. He might be the most emotionally unstable, narratively complex, and weirdly lovable sociopath on television.